All right, cool. I'm hanging out with my two girls that I haven't seen in 5 years. I think when I get 8 years, when I get 5 years.
It can't be 8.
It can't.
It's
Well,
8.
speak for yourself.
The last time I saw you, I was like on the other side.
2018.
Yes, 20. Okay, mathematics. How it's so.
Oh my gosh, it's been so
cool.
long.
The last time I saw you was in Rosebank. So that was a long time ago.
And you were going somewhere.
I
You're
was
like,
going
"Girl,
somewhere.
I'm
We were
gonna see
crossing
you."
paths. Exactly.
Damn.
That was the last time I actually saw you.
I can't do no small talk, no small talk. I'm not with the small talk. Can't be with the small talk.
The two gorgeous ladies that are joining me right now. The first one is an actress, a digital media strategist, Buhle Moletsane. And of course, I have a DJ and a media aficionado.
That's me.
Her name is Spokenpriestess.
That sounds a lot like me.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me.
Over here.
And over
The
here.
incomparable, multi-talented,
The
award-nominated
Yes.
production
Let's
and
not
media
forget that part.
specialist, Masego.
I need to get you everywhere I go. So that you can
Maboko,
introduce me
maboko.
like
She's
that.
a great hype woman.
Dude.
Trust me.
That's my
Amazing.
job. I love it.
Let's talk about the beginning, the beginning. Where did it all start? Because I know like we started at like almost the same time. In fact, you started before, a couple of years, 2
Yeah.
years before. Because I used to listen to you on the off-ramp with
Oh my
Maluela,
word, you lying.
Kumi.
Yes, E to the freak.
Yes. Is it the off-ramp?
Yes.
Look
I
at
can't
me.
believe, bruh.
Okay, tell me about you wanting to be in the radio space or the media space.
You want to know a funny story?
Yes.
I never actually wanted to be, I never planned to be on radio.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, I loved radio itself.
Okay.
As, you know, the kid that used to listen to radio
Of
for the
course.
songs. And I always had like those Walkman radio cell phones
Oh.
walking downtown. But I never imagined that I'd be the person on the other side until I met a guy called Jack Frost, rest in peace, who was like, bro, you're dope, like you should audition for this radio station next year. I was about to start varsity and he was like, no, come and audition, wara wara wara. He was doing the show before it was the off-ramp.
Okay.
And he was a drive time host and the rest, they say, is history. Honestly,
Really? Was
yeah.
he the one like doing the auditions?
No, so he was the presenter. He was doing the drive time show.
Yes.
And then he encouraged me to audition. When I got in, a few months later, he passed on. And then we had
I'm
to.
sorry.
Then the show was taken over by other people, and I stayed on the show, and then it just grew like that. But if it wasn't for him, I don't even think I would have known about those auditions.
Really?
Yes.
But then if you never imagined yourself in the radio space, what was your plan? Like where did you want to see yourself when you were a little girl from Limps?
I don't even know. I think
What did you want
I
to
thought
be?
about it. I thought about what did I want to be. I was like, I actually don't know because I liked singing and dancing. But I didn't know that you could do that or you
As
could
a
become
career,
that. So
yeah.
everything that I'm doing right now is stuff that I genuinely love. But I never really dreamed of it because in my opinion, I never even knew that was possible. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's like you love to sing and dance. We sang along to the radio. We performed for our parents.
Yes.
You don't know that it's
The
an actual
best hype
career.
people
Like you see
ever.
people on TV, you're like, oh yes, fantastic. How do you know where to take it? What do you study? How do you get into that job? Is it a job? How does it pay? I never knew those things. So I think in some way it was like the path carved itself. It's like my passion took me to where I need to be. I kept meeting the right people. And this for me is a testament of that thing. Preparation, opportunity favors the ready.
Oh, yeah.
Because once I got in, my friend,
Yeah,
You were ready
showed
to
them
go.
places.
I ran.
Exactly.
I ran. I
Yeah.
got in there,
That's
knew what I
good.
was doing. Even on my audition, I had a script. I rehearsed. I killed it. I killed it. So I'm like, oh, like everything you're doing in your life prepares you for where
Something
you really
bigger.
need to be.
Yeah.
So just stay ready. So I guess that's how I
Right.
got into the game. I was ready. Even though I didn't know that that's where I wanted to go.
Damn. I'm going
No,
to tell you
that's a
later
beautiful
how I
story.
started because I kind of relate with the story. I also never thought I'm going to be on radio. I wanted to be on TV.
Okay.
But I'll tell you about that. I want to know about sisters because you at some point, my show was before yours
Oh yeah.
in campus. I was doing a chart show.
Guys,
Yeah.
this is beautiful. Can I
Yes,
just say, like,
right?
what? I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah. And I remember every single time when I come to the studio, it's going to be like, hi, girl. How's life? How you doing? Relationship-wise, are you good? I'm good. Okay, goodbye. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, and that
every
was
single
that.
time.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Like, I feel like, it's not the same, but it's not different either. I was just going with the flow. I was a PR girl. I was in varsity studying public relations, and then this whole in front of camera being talent was just something I never woke up and decided to be like, hey, mom, I want to be an actor. I want to be this. I want to be that. It was not part of my plans. So when I started blogging, like in 2010, I was just writing things that I like. I was blogging, and then I used to be an avid reader of Destiny magazine.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when I bought that magazine, I saw like Carol Bauer. I looked up to her a lot. Like she was one of those
Yep.
women that I looked up to her because I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be like, those... Hey man, she's very wholesome
Yeah,
and
when you
soulful,
understand
like sophisticated.
media
So
made it
exactly.
Poster girl for success.
Yeah. So at that time, they were celebrating their 4th year in the game, the magazine. So they had like a little competition there.
Yeah.
Where they'll be like, okay, I think it was Carol Bauer, Kanye Dlomo, Basitsana Khumalo. They were the ladies who were going to be
Powerhouses.
part of the cover for the
Okay.
4th year. So they were looking for people who actually could join the cover with them. So we had to motivate why. Why do I want Basitsana to be,
your
to choose me
mentor
to
or
be
your-
my cover, to be on the cover with her. So I had to motivate why I loved Carol Bauer. So I wrote a whole essay explaining why I want to be on that cover. And to my surprise,
You got in.
I got a call.
Oh,
I got
didn't
the
know
call. And it was,
that.
and now I was young. I was like 19. So now, Neke Papa Vale, when I was doing things, it was out of ho papa, not because of intention of actually wanting
But
to
can
be
I
on the
tell
cover.
you something, not to cut you?
Yeah.
Doing something without any fear,
Yeah.
with conviction.
Yeah.
And you're saying "Ke go papa" because that's how we were raised.
Yeah.
When you are expressive, when you are really true to
Yeah.
who you are, it's called being forward because
Yeah.
we're expected to dim our
Our light.
light.
To humble
That is the
ourselves. Yeah.
truest
Yeah.
reflection of who you are.
Yeah.
Because what you did, "Ke go papa," got
It
you
opened
into
so
the
many
destiny
doors.
that you're in right now.
Absolutely.
So any kid out there that's listening and watching, and if you ever get a message of, oh my gosh, he's just so
Way
hyper,
forward,
he's
this
too
one.
energetic. Oh, he
Keep
loves
that
music
energy.
too much. That is the truest definition
Yeah.
of who you are.
Keep
And
that
that
energy.
is the thing that's gonna unlock your life for
That
you.
is
Yeah.
probably your talent.
Yeah.
That's going to get you somewhere.
Exactly.
else.
And then from that moment, like things just started happening. And then I entered a presenter search.
Yes.
They saw me from that cover. Joanne Strauss saw me from that cover. So she kind of liked my vibe. And then I entered that competition because,
And then-
again, Kho Papa. So
Look at that.
I sent in my TV presenting audition online. And then
The
again,
rest is history.
top 4, we won. And then life started for me from then onwards. And then I ventured into radio and acting. And here we are. And DJing, like, I just ventured into things in the
love
industry. And I never
this.
realized that I'm kind of like good at them. So I'm not going to say I'm not good at any of the things I've ever tried.
Yes.
I'd like to think I consider myself
I've
one
seen
of
you
the
on television. I was
talented.
like, is this my goal? Is this
Yeah.
the person I know?
Yeah. So yeah, that's been my journey. Iqadile ka go papa, and then we are here now. So yeah.
Guys, with me, this is so funny because I didn't want to be on radio. I wanted to be I wanted to be an actress. Funny enough.
Wow.
And I realized sometimes ke too reserved and I want my space. Then my sister's like, but urata dilo at the same time. Because I was that kid when I was doing matric. If I have to study, my television has to be on. I have to listen to music, but I'm studying and I'm going to pass, and then she told me about the auditions. I went to audition, got obviously volunteering job at Unisa Radio. And at the time I was like, no, but people are not going to see me here. I'm talking to myself. What do you mean people are listening to me? And then I realized sometimes it's like what you're saying when you, and let's talk about doing something and not having expectations Sometimes the rewards that you get always come with surprises. You always navigate towards where life leads you.
You
know
always
what I mean?
end up there.
Yes. I then became a social media promoter whilst volunteering as a presenter. I became a producer. I became so much to a point where my love for radio then began. And then I remember after, finishing at Unis, I said to the station manager, I think I've reached a ceiling. And he was like, of course you'll say that. I'm like, yeah, so I think I need to be in a commercial space. So I'm going to take a break from here and I'm going to apply. It's like, where are you applying? I wanted to go to Y Academy. Didn't make it, unfortunately. Applied so many times, still didn't make it. And before I knew it, I applied for Trans Africa Radio. And then Kaya FM as well. And Kaya called, I was like, okay, cool, I need to pick one. And after my internship there, I was like, no, actually, I'm destined for this. Television will come later if it has to come. And then from there, I don't know how I forgot about acting. I was like, okay, let me bank this situation here because I don't know what's happening about my acting skills as well. And I became on radio and look at me now.
Radio is really the gift of the gods.
Right? Yes.
Shout out to TV, print, magazine, wara, but radio, in my opinion, is the most powerful medium in entertainment and media overall.
Right? Yes.
It's in my opinion, it's so pure because, TV is great. It's we all love visuals. We live in a visual world. But there's nothing as personal as
radio.
Connecting with somebody through their voice because that's how you hear their emotions. That's how, that's literally a spirit talking to you. You can't see them. And you never meet a person, but they've been your friend for like a year.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even need to see. It's only now that we're starting to see what our radio presenters look like.
Yes.
And you're like, what?
It was such a mystery back then.
That's Masego.
Exactly.
Before,
It was such a mystery back then.
You will have even like an image in your
in your mind. Image. She sounds like
then,
this lavish lady. And, I'm just a girl from the village. That's the power of radio. And that is so unique. You can never get it anywhere else. So radio is really where it's at, in my opinion.
Always will be.
Speaking of the radio industry right now, let's talk about the elevation of radio, where you guys think it's going, and the future of it, because let's face it, when it comes to the digital space as well, there's a competition now. We no longer just listening. I mean, I used to wake up in the morning and listen to radio a lot. Even when I joined radio, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so big. What do you think of the future of radio right now?
I think the future of radio is great. I also think it's concerning. It depends on where you look at it from, right? I need to first clear that radio will never die. They've been saying the what killed the radio. Radio will never go anywhere.
Will never take over.
We will go to the moon. We will go to Mars. We will have a stereo with us on another planet. Let's just start there. I don't see radio ever dying. It just doesn't make sense, because even if you're talking about podcasts, that is still a form of radio. That is the child cousin of radio.
Actually, yes.
So even if we're podcasting, even if we are transmitting from whatever digital advancement there is, radio will just never die, right? So the future of radio for me is great. It's concerning in that I feel like the art and the skill of radio is becoming very blurry. And I think this is a conversation that exists with people like us who started way back before social media, right? When you didn't need followers to have a great show.
Yes.
Is that the skill and the principle and the practice and the craft of broadcasting is becoming slippery, because now you just need to have a popping social media account to have a platform. Back in the day, you actually needed the gift of that spirit talking to the next person and the ability to connect with the person on the other side to have a show.
Exactly.
You didn't need to see my face, but if you had that gift, if you had that command, you had the job. Now it's the other way around. Now you can come with a visual and say, 10,000 followers, this is my face, I look gorgeous, you don't even know what I sound like, you put me on air. I go on air and people are like, what is going on the air? What are we listening to?
Because the content.
Because it's reversed.
Yeah.
It's reversed. So that's what's concerning for me, is the craft and the skill and the art of radio, the discipline of broadcasting is becoming very slippery. But man, like look at what we're doing now, right? This is an extension of what radio is. We're tapping into the current life of content. How do we expand from the microphone, from the FM, transmission to the digital space? I really like that because now you get to see the person that's talking. You get to connect in a different way. You get to go behind the scenes, behind the world. And just, obviously radio is also the short listening span. So you go past the 5-minute link with the podcasting and these kind of conversations. So, man, radio, I think the future is great. Like, there's just so much we can still do with
Will
this
you
platform.
go back? Yeah. We asked this behind the scenes. Will you go back?
Will I go back? I probably will. I've thought about it, and I really think of all the things that I love in entertainment, radio will always be my first love, and will always be my true love.
Yeah.
I think going back for me, it will be on my conditions, and most importantly, I've always said that I will go back to radio once it needs me.
Yeah.
When radio calls me, I will go back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock on doors and try and convince programs managers that I'm dope when I've been doing this for 15 years and I'm incredibly gifted at this craft. But you want to tell me that because I've got 5,000 Instagram followers, I don't deserve a slot? I'm not going to do that. I'm not playing that game with you. I am an award-winning broadcaster.
Yay, baby.
Let's start there. Before social media was popping, I won an award for hosting a radio show. So when radio needs me, when radio calls me, and they will when they want to, we're doing it on my terms.
We go with timing. When the timing is right,
when the time is right,
it will happen.
You don't have to force it. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna.
I'm not doing that to myself, guys. This industry is so dangerous. It can have you knocking in spaces where you end up invalidating
selling
yourself.
Even
you just it has the ability to really tear down your confidence and your self-esteem.
Yes.
So you also need to be careful in your own pursuits for the dreams. Like, you want to grow, you want to go somewhere, but this industry has a way of invalidating you. And once you feel that thing is coming onto you and is affecting you, remove yourself from that, because it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me that I'm not, I was not getting slots at the people or the places where I was knocking. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. And that's the best decision I ever did for myself, because otherwise I'd be crying thinking I'm not good enough. But it's like, no, there's more factors. It's not just you. There's listenership, there's sponsorship, there's income. There's so many elements involved in radio that makes radio behave the way it does. And most times it has nothing to do with whether you're talented or not. There's just too many things involved. Yeah. So
speaking of that, like even challenges and feeling invalidated, it happens a lot in the modeling industry as well. And I thought of you when she was saying that you've been part of the modeling industry. There's times when they tell you you're too short.
I'm too skinny. Already I'm stick thin.
Skinny.
I'm literally stick
and
thin.
before you had to be skinny, now you're too skinny.
Exactly.
There's a friend of mine who was telling me, they were like, do you want to have like a nose job? And then she was like, no, I like my nose as it is. So if it's not for you, then I can move on to another thing.
Yeah.
So how has that criticism, affected you, or even like made you evolve as a person?
I think even with me, first of all, when I was young, I had such a very low self-esteem. I love my mom. I love my parents. I really love them. But they were not, from a black household, like, we don't really have parents who affirm us in our talents. So I realized, like, later in my 20s, hori hi man, girl, you're actually dope. Like, you're actually amazing.
Are you beautiful?
In my teens, exactly. So I never believed that I was that good in anything. But I was still trying. But at the same time, I think my confidence was so low that I actually never really wanted to try hard enough. That's why I think, for me, I even think I quit the game too early. Like, I feel like I could have done more, but because of my self-esteem and not really believing that I'm actually dope, even, seeing the value of my hard work, even seeing the hard work, all the things that I've accomplished, still for me, it's like, maybe I'm not that good enough. Maybe I'm not that good enough. So let me just take a step back.
Yes.
And even these no's, for me, it got to a point where I was like,
this is a lot.
Let me go back to the real world and corporate and just do my thing there. Maybe I'll get rewarded there, of which I really am getting rewarded for my hard work. I actually see the fruits of my labor where I am now. But in the industry, for me, unfortunately, for quite some time, it hasn't rewarded me the way I would want to be rewarded, because I work so hard, guys. There's no way. Like, one thing about me, I'm
I remember
hard
you used to
worker.
even like send me auditions.
Yeah.
Masego, I'm going to these auditions. If you want to
Yes.
come with me
Yes.
as well.
I work so hard, but this industry does not return the favor. Like you don't get the rewards that you actually put out. When it comes to the work I put out, I don't get the same rewards. So
But this is interesting.
it's-
I have struggled with low self-esteem as well.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you that. How
Yeah.
do you? Because in my opinion, and I'm sorry for cutting you,
Yes.
but I'm cutting you because you're getting to the answer anyway.
Yeah.
In my opinion, from how I've observed you, because I met you later, right? You guys have been together longer than I knew you.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you've been consistent.
Yes.
I've like in
Absolutely.
the years that I've met you and I've seen you in the radio space, you're one of the people that have held on
To the game. Yeah.
you know, when I look at where I come from in campus radio, you see the people that have fallen off, they've gotten out of the game, and then you see others that have gotten as
Kept
far as
going.
the national radio station. You're
Yeah.
like, damn, baby, you made it for all of us.
Yes.
For me, you're one of the people that I
She's
feel
one of
like
them,
you've
literally.
made it for
I'm
all
a
of us.
crybaby,
Yeah.
You're-
don't do that.
I mean, yeah, it's also coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. But you know, I can't help but feel like when somebody like you, when you were like, I'm at 5, I was like, you made it for the rest of us. You know,
Yes.
what is the thing that kept you going?
Yo, honestly, because I know she said it.
Can I tell you guys like what she said? I struggle a lot with low self-esteem, especially because when I started in the modeling industry, so I happened to be skinny, right? So I was just like, let me make money with this thing of being skinny. So I became Sandy Sun Baby at some point.
Oh yes.
But then when I started knocking on different doors of agencies, it'll be either I'm too short, my teeth are not straight. Oh my gosh, the other one was just like, you pretty and I like your confidence, but you only have 500 followers. How are you gonna help our brand? Aren't you supposed to market me and help me grow as a brand as well? And then being in the radio space became my safe space because now it didn't become about my looks, but it became about what I can
Talent,
offer
what
on
you
the
bring to the
table.
table.
You know, the talent that I have.
But you see
Can I think?
radio.
Yeah.
Radio is powerful.
You know what I mean? And from there, I was like, here I am producing, doing my work. Yes, there are challenges there and there. And yes, I cry a lot. Working with presenters is...
Say less. Say less. Say less.
Working with people that, I mean, there was a time when I started in the industry, I used to be like, radio is not for me, because there's one woman, I'm not going to say the name, who once said to me, Nana, when I started here, you were not even born. So you can't tell me what to say or what to do in terms of content. And at that time, I just finished my internship. I was so excited. Yes, so excited. And I remember crying, going to the program manager. I was like, this is not for me. I'll go back. She's like, and then the program manager was like, I didn't put you there because I feel sorry for you. I put you there because I can see how you think. I can see your potential. You're going to shut down whatever comment that person had, and they're not going to define you because you know where you're going. And from there, I just kept on going and going. And after that, I was so blessed to have people around me who just wanted to see me grow. I had women. I used to say, maybe female DJs are not for me. Maybe I must work with men, because I worked with Uncle Bob. He was great. I worked with Uncle T. You know them, you know. Maybe female. Then I met Auspazi. And before I knew it, apparently she was just like, after I stood in for like a week, she was like, that girl, she's going to be great. If ever you guys believe in her the way I saw, give her the opportunity. And from there, I kept on pushing, guys, until I am where I am right now. Like, I can never even... it's always unbelievable to say, damn, did I really do that? Damn. Some people will even say, dude, you worked with such and such. Because I always come and be like, hi, I'm Masego. I'm a producer. And my friends will be like, you are a flipping radio award-winning producer.
You.
Say
Thank
it,
you.
own
Say it
it,
with your chest.
and the
Thank
people
you.
that you worked with, say it, earn it, and you earned every single experience that you have accomplished. Don't undermine yourself. Don't belittle yourself. Don't undersell yourself, which is something that I still struggle with.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it because after going to therapist, after talking to a lot of people like who will come to me and tell me that, I'm like, if people can see me like this and I don't see myself like this, then I need to really
It needs to
self-introspect.
change.
And that has kept me going until where I am right now.
Do you guys think that if you had maximized on where you were at the, like, taken advantage of your positions in those times, you would be at a different place? For example, you're saying that we really downplay our experiences. If you would maximize on I'm Uncle Bob's producer, I'm Uncle T's producer, I'm with Joanne Strauss, I'm with Carol Bauer, I'm on 5FM Hip Hop Power Nights. Do you ever think about that? And do you ever think about the fact that maybe your life would be any different?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I
have moments where I'm like, maybe I should have done more while I was still hot, when the pot was still on, like really, really like on red. Yabila. I wish I've had many moments where I was like, I could have done more. But yeah, insecurity plays a role.
Also
Not
being young,
and
right?
not knowing enough.
Because you don't know how much of khupapa
Exactly.
And you come into a space where people are always trying to dim your light.
Exactly.
So immediately you end up getting into a room and hitting the corner.
You shrink.
I found myself doing that a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, I'm like, bruh, I could have ripped this game apart.
Yes.
I had the game in my hands.
Yes.
But every time I came into the room, I was like,
shrink.
corner.
Exactly.
But corner.
Isn't it interesting that as much as we have these demons that we fight him, behind closed doors, I look at you came up with 16 bars reloaded. You came up with so many movements. You made a name for yourself in the hip hop industry. Like, I remember the first time when we were sitting and Proverb was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, look at you go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I like that thing of knowing everyone in the room. It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that, isn't it interesting for you that you kind of like just drown yourself in your work?
That was my saving grace.
You don't want to face the demon that I don't think I have what it takes, but people think I have what it takes. So let me do what they want.
You know what it is? It's self-belief. There's nothing to it. And I'm happy you said that, because when you were talking about khupapa, I was like, that thing has to be spoken about. It's self-belief as khupapa. You know that thing about, there's a TikTok where I saw this little baby holding a chicken. The TikTok is so funny. That baby just keeps grabbing the chicken by the head. And you know how adults are scared of chickens? I'm like, I'll never catch a chicken. I'll never. That kid is just, it's a baby. It's a small baby. That baby's going for the chicken. And I'm like, that is no fear.
Yeah.
As young people, like when you're a child, your spirit is innocent. You're not scared of anything. That thing that had you auditioning and throwing yourself in there, that's no inhibitions. That's no fear. That thing is what the world kills, and that's what we need to hold on to. That's self-belief.
Yeah.
That's self-belief.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, man, we need to believe in ourselves. The demon that we're talking about, it's self-belief. Because if somebody tells you that I was here before you were born, you're like, well, it's 2023 now, ma'am, and things have changed. And this is how things work.
Yeah.
So we appreciate your experience, but we're in a digital age, in case you haven't noticed. You know what I mean? It's like, you need to be able to stand up for yourself. You need to be able to stand in your knowledge, stand in who you are. That's why I'm like, man, I'm an award-winning broadcaster. I'm not going to beg you. If you don't see any value in what I bring, then I'm not going to try and negotiate with you. So we need to, and it's a pity that we get there when we're older. But it's fine because
That's the
then
part.
that's lived experience.
Yeah.
That's something that nobody can ever take away from you. Those ranks, those names, those shows, they mean something. And I really believe that one day they will come into some sort of fruition. I've been noticing, like, in the South African industry, particularly in the past few years, a lot of women that have been making it are over 30. You know, I remember when Ayanda Tabeta was booming and I found out she was 31. I was like, what? She's 31.
She was
and she looked so young. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then I looked at Nomzamo. Like, I looked at so many people. I'm like, okay, 30. I'm like, okay. This is encouraging because I was starting to feel like I missed my opportunity to maximize on what I was doing. And I'm getting older. But I was like, hold on. Here are these girlies killing it in their 30s. So, man, it's never too late. But the biggest thing is just belief. Like self-belief. The sooner we work on that, I feel like the whole universe opens up. Because when you play small, you're not only doing a disservice to yourself, you're doing a disservice to the world, bro. People need that thing.
And we must stop this thing of, no. I'm underselling myself because I don't want them to see me coming. Hell no.
They must see you coming,
yes,
bro.
they got to.
Do you know how audacious, untalented people are?
Yeah.
And it's because they're overcompensating, right? So they was like, what's the game plan? I don't have any talent. Good. I've got looks. Great. What else? I'm rich. Great. What else do I have? I have a booty. Great. What else do I have? Style. What else can we put in here? Let's add some hair. Let's add all the bells and rings so that they don't notice I'm not talented. Great.
Yes.
Do we have a plan? Good. Let's go.
Yes.
And they don't stop for
They
everyone.
don't. I remember I was working
say you
at
can't
some
sing, they're
production.
like, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I'm here.
Just. I remember I was shooting. I don't want to mention the show because it's gonna be so obvious.
Television show.
I was working with other talents and stuff. There was this one girl that I used to work with, and we're there reading lines and whatnot. And she's there busy with her phone. She's like, "Hey, Mina, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here, and I'm just and then we're briefing, we're reading lines. We taking it seriously." She's like, "No," and she's doing amazing right now. She's what push hey. Offline, Mara. I'm just like, I needed to make sense.
Just like,
no names.
Because it's
No
like
names.
she literally said that with no care in the world, and I'm like, here I am
'Cause she
taking my
knows what
craft so
she's doing.
seriously, Because I'm like, here I am taking my work so seriously, and you just up in here and saying you really don't give a about what you're doing. Basically, that's what you're saying.
But that's
to me.
her gift. That's
Exactly.
her power. Guys, you need to
Exactly.
understand that power comes in different forms.
Right.
It can come in yellow, green, or blue, but power is power.
Right.
And how you use your power will work for you.
True.
If you're going to get into a room lacking talent, but you have everything else, and you've told yourself that I'm going to win, you are going to win.
sure.
If you're going to walk into a room and be so scared to audition
Hide in
and
the
be like,
corner.
oh my God, am I good enough? Am I not? They're going to see it. That's the energy you're going to put out. And they'll be like, she has so much potential, but we can see that she's not ready. They will take that person that's not
The
talented.
energy you give is what you receive.
Because that's
True.
less work.
Yeah.
No one's going to do the work of believing in yourself for you. Unfortunately, you will always get left behind. They
true.
can't carry you like that. They can teach you how to touch the buttons and how to take up the levels, but they're not going to give you that spirit. And I think that's the difference.
Yeah. No, I
Okay,
totally
let's ladies, let's talk about your careers now. Where you are right now. What are the projects that you're busy with? You're an Afrobeats DJ. You have 2 movements as well that you're doing. Tell us about that.
I love that. Movements. Thank you so much, man.
You must invite us to come and eat spell.
Come, 25th August, we are working. We are working.
And nna ke batla go flyer gape le ha o fly.
I'll tell you when we're going to an East African country. It's still under wraps, but
Okay.
anyways, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
2 movements. Movement number 1, 16 Bars Reloaded, like you said, is a movement that I've carried with me for forever. It's something I'm passionate about. It's a movement based around empowering artists, musicians, and industry professionals on how to navigate the industry. It's mostly for artists, but I'm realizing that we all need help. So artists, PR people, bookings agents, how the industry can work better. What are the things that people don't know before getting into the game? What are the things that people don't know while they're in the game? A lot of us are actually winging it. Guys, everybody is winging it. Everybody.
Literally.
Right up to the biggest superstar in this country.
You don't know what the F
Everyone is
know what
winging
they're
it.
doing.
Nobody
Yeah.
has it figured out. Okay, so find the right people around you. Know how to maximize on your environment, what you have. Know what game you need to be playing? Where are you registering your music? How can you get the best out of your promotion through your social media? What kind of context should you be making? Who should you be talking to? How do you approach radio stations and brands? So stuff like that. Like, that's what 16 Bars Reloaded is about. It's just plugging people onto... It's my way of trying to make the game more
Social
professional and
networking,
better.
basically.
Yeah. To avoid all this mess of an industry that's disorganized. That's the part I'm doing, to try and make sure that people that are going into the game at least have their stuff together.
Okay.
And then Bedu Nights is my absolute favorite because it's in line with what I do right now. I'm an Afrobeats DJ. I'm so passionate about African music, guys. I can't even explain to you. And it's interesting because I was a hip hop head. I mean, still am, but I was. People were like, when did you start listening to Afrobeat? I've been listening to Afrobeats even while I was a hip hop head.
Actually, yes.
I've always liked that sound. But now, because I left hip hop, I just started to pivot into it. And in fact, it led me into that direction. And it makes perfect sense to who I am.
Yeah.
Hip hop doesn't resonate with me the way it used to resonate with me 10 years ago. But Africanism and Pan-Africanism and music especially does. So Bedu Nights is a strictly Afrobeats movement, strictly Afrobeats party. We play Afrobeats the whole night, guys. No piano, no kwaito, no R&B, no hip hop.
I love
Afrobeats. You will hear all of it. Kuduro,
Doro Buchi. I want all
Bona,
of-
Kizomba, Ndombolo, Bongo. All the sounds of Africa is what Bedu Nights is. It happens every last Friday of the month. We're currently, in Rosebank. I can't say the venue because they change every now and then, but you can just follow us on Instagram, Bedu Nights. And Bedu is a Yoruba word, Nigerian word for groove and vibe. So
nice.
I didn't know that.
yes, that song by Burna Boy, when the Bedu the enter body.
Yeah, I didn't know what he means.
Yes, it basically means when the
I was just
it means when the jam, when the vibe enters your
love
body,
it.
when the beat hits your chest.
Oh.
Yes, when the Bedu the enter body, it's going down.
And the other time you were explaining the differences between Afrobeats and Afrobeat.
Oh yes, I saw that.
I was
clip.
like, girl, I thought it's the same
Such
thing.
knowledge.
Can I tell you something?
Like,
Guys, me, I'm a music
child.
geek. And I think that's what's unfortunate is that we have so much in ourselves that we don't even realize.
Yes.
I'm such a music geek. I can literally break down the different genres on the continent like it's nothing because that's just how I understand
That's
the
who you
stuff.
are.
That's what I'm passionate
Yeah.
about. And you're like, what? It's different everywhere. Yes, it is. Bongo music is East African, is different. It sounds like tropical reggae dancehall. But maybe Palanga from Ghana, West Africa, has got a different sound. Ndombolo in the DRC is like that guitar. Ding, 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 ding. It sounds like kwasa kwasa. So
she's literally making us travel in Africa through music.
that's my vibe. So yeah, man, that's what Bedu Nights is about. It's my passion project to really connect Africa through music as well. Like, I feel like that's the thing that we've got left, and really the most precious export we have as Africans is our culture. And the sooner we latch onto that and we exchange through culture, the better for us.
Sisters,
Girl.
the PR girl,
Girl.
now in the digital space, a super talented actress.
That I am.
You've been in a lot of Greed and Desire. You've been on. Can I mention what you just shot now?
Sure.
Happy Linale Tamaka. No, I can't say now.
Hey, non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure.
Just say it because
The
it's
River.
not. Yeah, I just finished shooting The River.
Rhythm City.
Yeah, that was my first gig.
Generations.
Ever. Generations. The label Matosa story.
The label matters. You were
Wow.
flipping
Black
journalist.
Tax.
Black
Girl,
Tax.
I've done it
Did
all.
you working, hey?
Yes.
I've worked. When I look at my profile, I sit there and I'm in awe.
You can't
You
of
believe
like,
should
it.
actually put your profile on. Put it
Sure.
in your bio, babes.
Yes.
Honestly, put it in your
I
bio.
That
literally-
one line is not doing justice. You must add.
right?
You must say the river, black text.
Yes.
Da, 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 da. You must
Hashtag.
They must know.
They
what
must
time
know
it
who
is.
we're taking Mugele wasebetsa. So me, okay, well, finished shooting The River.
Yes.
I think I make my debut sometime in November or December. I'm not really sure, but around those times.
Nice,
It's been a
nice.
fun experience, even though it's coming to an end. I got there when it was ending, but I was like,
Perfect.
it was
timing.
really perfect timing. I really had a great time on set with the people, the cast, the crew, everybody. There were such amazing people. So I just finished doing that. And I also still do, print work, like, ads. I just finished shooting like an Easy Wave campaign. So I still do a lot of like hair campaigns. So that's been fun. And also I'm a corporate girl. So, but it's really, really flexible, which allows me to still be a creative and be like in front of camera talent. So right now I'm just in a space where I really just, hey guys, I've worked hard all my life. I just want to work smart now. I really just want to work smart. And you see, when you say what comes. Like that's literally where I am. If it comes, it really comes. I'm tired of begging. I'm tired of knocking on doors. I just want to just work smart now. Like if you see the potential, if you see that I can do what you want to offer me, then reach out to me. I'll still put out content. I'll still be on those Instagrams, be on those social pages and showcase my skills on my page, on my platforms. But in this thing of knocking on doors, I am over it. So I'm working smart, and that's
so
just
this is
my
the
life.
part where we build our own platforms.
Basically,
because
that's where
when
I
you
am.
say not knocking on doors, it also feels like you're giving up. It also not feels. It sounds like you're ongadile, but it's like actually. I can do this myself.
Yeah.
I can
What
do
does
whatever
Taylor
I
Perry
want.
say?
Yeah.
When there's no seat at the table,
You
create
your own.
That's what
You
I'm
create
doing
your
with
own.
Bedu Nights.
Yeah.
It's when I was realizing, I'm like, man, they're not booking me. Where are the gigs? Where nobody, like, I was like, no, I'm not going to complain about. I'm going to create an event that plays my sound.
Absolutely. That's it.
okay.
That is it.
And you, Miss Thang?
Miss Thang
What's he
is
cooking?
still producing.
Oh, as you should.
Um,
Don't leave us.
Was awarded the producer of the year 2022. Still running until December by the South African Radio Awards. Was nominated for the Basadi in Music.
Yes.
Even though I didn't win, but got it.
Nomination, period.
And a lot of people don't know this, but I am one of the ladies who are behind the 5FM social media pages.
Why don't people know that?
Yeah, I run the pages. I just don't say Masego is the digital specialist.
Okay, I hear you. But
Yes.
guys, it's time to put the work out, hey?
Yes.
Honestly.
I must add it in my bio as well.
Apart from bio, I think let's start showcasing our work, because you
Yes.
never know who's watching, right?
Yes.
You never know.
You showcase your work, they're like, what are you doing at 5FM? And it's like,
Exactly.
and you will get a call.
Out of nowhere.
You will get a call. Guys, let's showcase our work.
It's time.
Let's showcase our work. People are
guys.
watching.
Yes, that's where I am, guys, and Unscripted.
Mm.
Thank you so much for coming. I feel like this is we just need a coffee and
Yeah.
catch up. It's
Yeah.
like girls out, cocktail or a coffee and enjoying ourselves. So for me, it feels like a girls talk, and I enjoyed it. Hopefully we do it again.
I'm so proud of you, Masego.
Honestly.
Thank you.
I'm so
proud of you guys
Yeah.
too.
If there's one person who never took a different direction, it is her.
You.
I'm there.
so proud of you. I'm so
Like you've
proud
been
of you.
consistent. So I love that. I
And if you
admire
ever
that,
get tired,
actually.
call us. We will come. We'll come for them.
Exactly.
I'll WhatsApp all of you if I
Yo,
can't.
re tlo ba trapa gore. You are our last hope. Like,
Honestly, for real.
All right, that is it for us. We have been here for like 30 minutes.
yeah.
40 minutes. God damn, we talked too much.
had a lot to talk
Thank
about.
you so much, ladies. I love you, and keep
you.
going. Lastly, before we go, it's Women's Month. I want you guys to like share your special messages to all young, old, mid-age women out there. What do you want to say to them?
Don't let anybody make you doubt yourself. It doesn't matter if you are not sure yourself. Even if you have doubt, don't allow somebody else to make you doubt yourself. If you're not sure, you'll find out. You'll find the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But just never allow somebody to talk you out of doing something that you really like doing.
Yeah.
Because you will always be chasing something that doesn't exist, and you will hate yourself for it, and you'll regret it. Stick to your guns. If it means look down and don't look up, and just stick to your guns, because it will all make sense.
It will all
Just
make
never
sense.
betray yourself. Yeah.
Never
That's
betray
great.
yourself. I love that.
Yes.
Actually, what she said. Because
Yes.
I have a niece. I love her to bits, and she's the most confident thing ever. And I always remind her to keep
The
it
confidence.
like that. Don't be shy to ask for what you want, even at school. And she makes me so proud. And I love like I live vicariously through her because of I wish I was that young girl who was so confident. So I always remind her, confidence will take you so far. So I think that's really what I want to share. Confidence will literally take you so far. And if you start at a young age from 6 years old, keep it going until you die, babes. Keep it going because you just never know where it might land you. So confidence is important, and I'm seeing it now more than ever.
Yeah.
Confidence is a stain they can't wipe off.
They can't.
Thank you so much. I want to say to everybody, be yourself, put yourself first before the world. No matter if you are at work, don't overwork yourself. Your mental state comes before anything.
Sana.
If you collapse right now, that company will replace you within a second.
You're not
always
that
remember,
special.
you're not that special.
No. So
Take
look
care
after
of yourself. Take
Of
care
course.
of each other. And I love you.
Oh, we love you, baby cakes.
We love you.
Bye.
This is 5FM.